It's as good as it's gonna get.
Awesome.
You know, here we are, the most infamous podcast, at least in Ohio.
At least.
Maybe Mississippi, Michigan. Better watch out. Neighboring states, Pennsylvania,
Indiana.
We coming. Kentucky.
Yeah.
Watch your back.
Word.
We're gonna eventually be the illest podcast in all of those states, and then we just gonna work outward from there. You know, until we have the whole North American block.
Word.
Down.
Yes.
Super Duty Tough Work, Blueprint, and Illogic live on the radio again.
Yep.
Feels like I haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, it does.
But I feel like I've seen you every weekend for the last month.
Yeah, it's been like that. And I'm going to see you again in a couple days.
Yeah. Shooting them things, man. Them videos. Getting them knocked out.
Yeah.
The feedback has been good.
Very good.
The last one was looking crispy.
Very, very crispy.
The next one, though.
Yeah.
I got some shit in the bag.
Oh, do you? Some editing tricks?
Not even that. Just like
just
the crispy, clean footage, man.
Yeah, the cleanness.
I'm starting to get the look that I've been dreaming about.
I mean, just straight off the camera, though, it was looking. Yeah. Straight off the new joint. Yeah, it was looking buttery. So I can't wait till you touch it. Can't wait.
Man, I'm excited about the future.
Can't wait.
I'm really excited about the future, man. Plus, you know, I did my taxes this week. Got that man off my back.
Right.
And boy.
Yeah.
I feel like a new man this week.
Feel that.
And so, podcasting.
Podcasting.
We do that every motherfucking week.
That's what we do.
So yeah, this week this is a topic that actually came from a friend of the show, DJ Potts 2.
Yes.
From Columbus, Ohio.
My mans.
He hit me up the other night and we had a conversation about he was asking about like a J. Rawls record. He was like, yo, no, it was a Reflection Eternal record. He was like, yo, have you heard blah, blah, blah song on there? He's like, something is panned this way and something's panned that way. Why do people do stuff like that?
Oh.
And we just started talking about panning, and I was just kind of explaining to him like, how people used to mix records specifically for headphones.
Right.
He never really thought about it that way. Like, oh, this is deliberately just for headphones.
Right.
Because you can listen to the same record on a regular system and you will hear none of that stuff.
Yeah, and it sounds different. It's a different feeling. Yeah. It just feels like it's coming at you.
Yeah. And so it gives the same album two different feelings. And so this episode, you know, and he was like, yo, y'all should do an episode about the best headphone albums.
And here we are.
Yeah, because he was the one that's a recommendation. So here we are today.
Yeah.
You know? And so this episode this week is about the best headphone albums. I don't know if it's of all time. Yeah. But it's at least that we've heard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure there's more.
Yeah, there's probably more. You know, so people don't light us up in the comments about some shit that came out last week.
What about? Yeah.
So you know, we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Right.
We got you stuck off the realness, the most infamous, you heard of us. Official podcast Murderers, the show comes equipped with viewpoints to share. Grown man ideas for all those who care and wanna grow, so go ahead and download. Every single week with a brand new episode. You're not alone in this world, cousin, so we share information and honest discussion and keep repping a culture like we supposed to. They spread gossip, but they never come close to. I can hear it inside their tone. They talk about the industry but never left their home. You get laced up with bullet points and such, plus empowering topics that they never would touch. You can put your whole network against the team, but Super Duty Tough Work's the MVP. Most valuable podcast on MP3. Priceless info, but all of it's free. So take these words home and think them through. Super Duty Tough Work is coming at you. You are now listening to Super Duty Tough Work with your host, Blueprint. Raw and uncut. Adult conversations. No shucking, no jiving, and no bullshit.
Bam.
Word.
Super Duty Tough Work podcast. Talking about the best headphone albums of all fucking time.
Now, I have heard there's some good headphone albums that are of the, I guess, genre of hip hop that we don't really fuck with.
Trap?
Yeah, like some.
What do you say, the genre that shall not be named?
I mean, you know,
came with mad
yeah, like cold words. But yeah, I've heard like what's his name? I think Travis Scott, Astro World. I heard that album sounds really, really fucking good in headphones. There's a few of those like, you know, those trap dudes that shit is mixed like.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah,
I can believe that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Super clean.
But yeah,
like,
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it either.
So as you know, what's funny, and our listeners probably haven't listened.
Exactly.
But some of them may have. I don't want to say that. But,
yeah,
you know,
some of them have
a wide range of listeners.
We do.
But we just talk about what we know.
Right.
That's our strength.
Yeah.
You know, so we're not one of those podcasts who try to be hot and trendy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talk what we know. Talk about where we at.
Right. Start where you are, baby. That's what we do every week.
Yep.
And so we're gonna start with the honorable mention. We got 10 of these albums, and we're gonna start with the honorable mention, which is Digable Planet's Blowout Cone.
I love this album.
I know.
It's one of my favorite albums of all time. Literally,
I
like
know.
Seriously.
We used to bang this a lot.
We used to
on tour.
bang this a lot on the road.
You know what's funny about this record? This record is like, it's one of my favorite records of all time, but it's also my record, the record that I have my biggest pet peeve about.
What's the pet peeve?
The vocals are too low.
Dog. That is,
come on.
That's what I hate about the record, because it feels like I have to turn it up, even though I turn it up
all the way.
Yeah, it's like I have to turn it up in order for,
like they mumbling in the background.
Yeah, man, but it's such a beautiful album.
So good,
so good.
I don't know who messed up that vocal part. I'm like, why don't you just turn up to just two more dBs, man?
From what I've read about, because I tried to do a little research on like the mixing and mastering of all the albums and stuff that we picked, and from what I read, Doodlebug did the production and the mixing and mastering.
I knew the production. I didn't know he did all the other stuff.
Yeah, he did. Like he did the whole fucking record.
He did too much.
He did a little too much. Because the record, the vocals are a little low. Look,
2 to 3 dB, man.
And the guest appearances are so beautifully placed on this record.
Come on, man. So we're fans of the record.
Yeah,
but the record is on this list because it sounds good in these things, man.
It sounds good in
so
headphones.
Like when you look at like the record, you know, the intro starts out with the but what's crazy is like some of the hands are over here, some of the horns over here, some of the horns over here, and they're like you know, and that's fucking great. You know, and I don't know if that was him or if that's just a sample or if it was live, but it just sounds fucking great. You know, like there's tracks on there that have like, because overall it only made honorable mention because it doesn't have a lot of true stereo mixing on it. You know what I mean? But it does have like these elements because it's so jazzy, and it's got like, there's guitar riffs that are played, rhythm guitar that'll be coming in your right ear frequently throughout the record.
Yeah, it's parts that move around.
Yeah, like the intro. Yeah, the horns are playing left, right. The dog-eared part slightly right. There's kalimbas on the left every now and again. It's not a lot of panning going on, but this record came out in 1994.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So in 1994, what you'll notice about a lot of things on the list, this was new shit. Yeah. Like
the way that it was mixed, the way it sounded.
Yes.
No record had really sounded like that before this record.
No. Hip hop was always mixed. Like, so for those who are wondering, like, why a record sounds good in headphones, I guess we take it back to there.
Right.
So imagine you have on headphones, right? And you have things 90% of the time, 99% of the time, sounds is all coming up the middle. It's mixed equally between the left and the right speaker, the stereo field. So what people started doing in the mid 90s, hip hop people started doing, was making what we call headphone albums. Albums that have, now this is something that's existed in rock for years. Yeah. Like rock albums have been on that. From the Beatles and stuff, they had stereo mixes. But a lot of the hip hop albums were kind of new to that kind of engineering. And so what they would start doing is taking some of the instrumentation or the vocals and panning it slightly to where you get this mix that sounds crazy bugged out in the headphones. But when you listen to it a regular system, you don't even notice.
You don't even notice.
You would not know. So you get these two different experiences. And so you have albums like Digable Planets, Blowout Cone, which sounds completely different in headphones than it does. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when I listen to it in headphones, I feel the vocals are cool.
Yeah, exactly.
When I listen to it in a car stereo, the vocals are too low.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And this is one of my favorite headphone albums, but I can't bang it like I want to anywhere else because the vocals piss me off.
Yeah. And what was the song? It was one of the songs in particular where they did the vocals Like in the first, like I think 8 bars of their verses, like the vocals pan back and forth. I forget the name of the song.
I'm not sure.
I think it's the joint with it might be the joint with J. Rule on it.
Not the I can't remember.
Yeah, but it's one of the songs where their vocals actually jump back and forth in the headphones.
Yeah,
and it's paying that way. That like the first 8 bars of each of the verses.
Yeah, but you know, outside of that, there's not a lot.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
On the album. It's not, and like you're saying, even the choruses are not necessarily. Which you know, a lot of the other stuff we're gonna get to today,
right? From
the vocals to the music is just
crazy.
Yeah, the headphones are the best experience for these albums.
Yeah.
So that's the number one. That's the honorable mention. Yeah. Digable Planets, and now we got this other one. You know, number 10, which is. You know, I kind of feel like this is the one that set it all off.
Oh man, come on!
And it's not even crazy compared to what's happening now,
right? But
at that time, this was that deal. And the number 10, you know, best headphone album of all time, because we know all things. Past, present, you know, and future is A Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory.
It's a beautiful record.
Sonically, this record just sounds great.
Oh God, come on, man! Like honestly, for me personally, this would be higher on the list.
Yeah, I know, but only because they're on here multiple times.
Right.
Yeah, but I went back, and the only reason it's not higher is because, it sounds great.
Sounds beautiful,
but I don't think it's truly
a stereo mix.
Right, that's all it is. It doesn't have as much stereo shit happening on there. Now, when you start talking about like Rap Promoter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of those joints where they'll have like little riffs coming in with the samples and the cuts. They got a little tricky on those, but overall, it just sonically sounds great.
It's a great sounding record. This is one you could definitely bump in the car.
Yeah, and it's minimal.
Oh.
Minimal. Yeah. Like I don't know if you've seen any of those interviews where Q-Tip was talking about how basically he was trying to copy what Dre was doing on the Chronic.
Oh no.
Yeah. He basically was talking about when before they started Tribe, I mean this Low End Theory album, he heard the Chronic. And they were just like, yo, this shit is insane.
Right.
Like there's never been a record that sounded like that sonically. We want to do an East Coast version of that. And so they basically said, okay, which is why it's so minimal. Right. To get the sonics that they wanted where it sounded good. Because then people were making Jeep music. Right. It wasn't even for headphones. Then it was like, yo, this has got to sound good in the car. So the low end on that record is crazy. Hence the title. Right. The Low End Theory. Sonically, it's very sparse. When I first heard that record, it kind of bugged me out. I didn't like it because I felt like nothing was going on. I remember thinking, why is nothing else happening in this music? Right. And then, you know, you play it in different systems. You're like, oh,
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now clarity. It makes sense. Yeah. It's so clear.
Yeah.
So clear and clean.
Because you think about just how the record starts. It's like there's songs and moments where it's just drums and a bass line.
Was this Bob Power?
Yeah.
Engineer?
Yeah. Yep. I think this one he was, I think he started with this record where they start saying his name at least. Right. You know, but yeah, Low End Theory, it's number 10. Like to me, it's not super headphoned out like the rest of these on the list, but it's kind of the godfather
of the sound
of the sound that we're gonna be talking about on this list. And that's number 10. Okay, number 9, Kanye West, My Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I listened to this album again today. It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. So many good songs. Yeah, and then it just sounds like it's like we talked about it a little before on air, but there's no album that is mixed like this album that I've ever heard. No. Like the way that it's mixed is like, even the vocals are super high. Sometimes the music sounds far in the back, but it's still clear. Yes. Like it's wild how this album was mixed.
Yeah. I got some notes about like the opening track.
Oh God.
Like it sounds, when you listen on the headphones, it's got this stereo mix where it almost sounds like you're sitting in the middle of a goddamn symphony orchestra.
Like you're in a church almost.
Yeah, it's got these strings, this lush coming from this side, and you got like the yeah. You're like, damn, where am I? Like it takes you somewhere different. Yeah. But it doesn't, again, you don't even catch how that sounds on a regular stereo.
Right, exactly.
It just sounds good. When you put on headphones and you feel like you're like sitting in the middle of fools playing this shit. Yeah. It's incredible.
It is very incredible. And I mean, in the singing, like the hook, especially. it's so beautiful. It sounds like you're surrounded by these voices.
Yeah, bro.
Like you're in the middle of a circle and the choir is singing around you.
Yeah, like the dark fantasy track where it's got the da 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 da. The keys are left.
Yeah.
And then the strings are right. I never noticed that until recently because I was listening to it regular
in the ride.
Yeah, in the car. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
But then you listen to it, it's like, yo, you hear that and you hear him coming. I used to fantasize this back in Chicago. Mercy, right up the center. Yeah. It's fucking crazy after they already hit you with all those strings that are insane.
Yeah.
Like the record is crazy. Like you get later on in songs like Power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that the vocal sample in there. The gosh, what's the one at the end of the chorus? But it's a King Crimson sample, whatever it is. It's like guitar with.
Oh yeah.
That goes from like left
to right. Yeah,
it's
real quick too.
Real quick.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy. Pan stereo, all the interludes, the outros, credible mixes. All of the lights. It's got like swinging. The horns start over here.
Yeah, then it fades. Yeah,
it's really good, man. Like obviously, what I also think on here is like this record's got a combination of like where the music has dope stereo mixes,
right, and the vocals.
Yeah, because once you get to like Monster, Runaway, like Power, when you start hearing like the vocal mixes, they're really lush. It's like at least 4 or 5 voices on each side,
right? Different voices too.
Yeah,
and the harmony kind of meets in the middle, and it's it's so beautiful, crazy.
But it's fucking sick.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Kanye or not, listen to this record again in headphones. Yeah. If you're a fan of just engineering, just good sound and shit, listen to this record in headphones. Yeah. Like this, because this is one of the things when I had Bombay start to mix my album when we started, before it was finished, like I told him to listen to this record. Yeah. And I was like, this is how I want kind of some of these effects as far as how things are panned and the movement and the voice to be surrounding and things like that. And I ended up mixing it myself, but I got some of those things. Yeah. Like, because I would take vocals and split them and make 2 tracks of them and pan both of them hard left and hard right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And did that with a lot of shit. So this record really like influenced a lot of the shit that I've been mixing personally.
It's fucking crazy. And the thing too about this record I want to add before we move to the next one is that like there are records who are more ambitious on a stereo mix. Like they're more experimental. Right. This one is not necessarily experimental. It's just done with class and effectiveness.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Every song, right? It's not like you never feel like the stereo mixing was just someone randomly fucking around trying to figure it out
for that one song.
Yeah. It's like, no, we know we're doing every song and every song is going to sound like this. Yeah. And it just sounds amazing in the headphones.
Yeah, it does.
So that's number 9. Okay. Number 8. Whew, yeah, this is one. The Roots, Illadelph Half-Life.
Beautiful fucking record.
1996.
Yes.
Yeah, this record, man. I remember this one when it dropped.
Yeah.
You were just like, oh. Yeah. The thing about this one too, it reminds me that like some of these records, the older ones, we couldn't completely appreciate them like we do now. Right. Right. Because like we're saying, in 94, 95, wasn't nobody mixing like that.
Nah. And I don't think, and personally, like I wasn't as much of a head, as far as like listening to that. I just knew it sounded different and it sounded better than the records that I heard the years prior, but I didn't completely understand it like I do now. Like when I listen to records now, it's like, oh, that's what they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah, you catch it. Yeah, like Illadelph Half-Life, like it starts off with like that interlude with the people talking, right? And it's a bunch of different voices talking about them, but indirectly, right? And then but each voice is on a different side. So
it comes in.
It's crazy after, and it'll just be going, and it's just gone, right? And then it comes back with like the keys, and the keys are muffled keys. They're moving left to right and back again. You're just like, what's going on? It puts you in this weird space with headphones on, and then it goes into respond, react. And look, the dope thing about respond is so minimal. Yes, it's literally only got like 3 instruments. But it's sick because it's like the piano. You know what I'm saying? Like you. The piano circles around your head.
Oh my God, man.
When you listen to the headphones, it's just like ding, 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 ding. It's just circling. You're like, yo, this sounds crazy. And it's not that much else going on. And it's like these two dudes rhyming. And it's like, I think on this song, like they start off in a center or slightly right.
Yeah. And
then their ad-libs are all hard left.
Yep.
So they're rhyming here. And you're like, okay, they're over here. And then it's coming. And their ad-libs, it's like, oh, snap.
Yeah, man.
It's fucking sick. I got some other notes on this. Hold on. So people, when you go home, because I know some people are going to list these records. I'm going to tell you some things to look out for. This song, Panic.
Oh, man, that's another one.
Come on, you got Rozelle beatboxing parts of that shit.
Yep.
And then it's like you got like the hi-hats though that he's doing are separate from the bass and the kick.
Yep.
And they're like somewhere weird off. It's like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what they do, dope stereos panning on that shit. With the guitars, you know what I'm saying? And the guitar is moving around left to right. The horns are panning left to right, alternating between left and right. No alibi, same thing with the keys.
Yep.
The keys come in, they're dancing around left to right.
Yeah.
Like you got these in headphones, just like, what?
Yeah, this shit is, I mean, and this came out before I started smoking. But when I did start smoking, like this was one of those albums that I would just zone out to, dog.
Yeah.
Like I'd be high and just put this in my headphones and just sit there like stuck.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, man. So like, on like The Great Pretender, like Malik B's chorus starts. He says one chorus on the left ear, says the other one on the right ear, and then he starts rhyming right in the middle, and it just kind of gets you like, what's going on here? But that's The Roots. It's number 8. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Right.
What up, everybody? Blueprint here to let you guys know that all 3 of my books are finally back in stock. That means right here, What a Night. This book is back in stock. It's $10. This is a book about the worst shows of my career. That's 10. Word is Blog Volume 1 is back in stock. That's $10. And also, The Making of the Adventures in Counterculture. This book is about my Adventures in Counterculture album. If you have the album, you love the album, you should have a book too. That's $10. All 3 of these books are back in stock for $10 each, or you can get all 3 of them for just $25 right now on waitlist.net. That's all I got today. Thanks for your support. Peace. Yeah.
Word.
Super duty. Tough work.
I'm feeling some nostalgia going through this.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Man. There's a lot of it going around.
Yeah.
Talking about these records that, that have influenced us kind of indirectly.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now about mixing, I appreciate this stuff so much more.
So much more.
Because I feel like headphone albums are just starting to come back. Like they're starting to really hit now. And guys are doing so much more.
Right.
But back in the day, they weren't this adventurous. So, we got 7 more. Best headphone albums of all time. Number 7, the Nonce World Ultimate.
I'm gonna have to go back.
You gotta go back.
I'm gonna have to go back.
This is a sleeper joint.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back.
But I had to put it here because technically it's beyond a lot of records.
Really? I gotta go back. I gotta go back.
When it comes to stereo mixing and doing things, like this record came out, I think in 94, 95? Yeah, 94, I think, or 95. The thing about this record that they were doing that no one else was really doing back then is they were like stereo mixing elements of the beat. It was all sample stuff. It wasn't like you got a guitar player playing over it, you put it on. They would have like a horn stab and they would cut the stab in, start it left and right. And then echo it out and it would be over there. And then they were doing that shit. Every chorus on this record is like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because obviously, it started off with guys just doing stuff with the vocals every now and again. Right. And then as eventually the music starts to get more stereo. And this record to me was one of the first ones I ever heard where I was like, what's going on here? Like it would start out with elements that were like part of the beat, but they weren't with that section of the beat. So like, okay, you got a piano riff that comes in twice, but you're just going to put it on the right side and scratch it in.
Yeah, see, I got to listen to this record.
Yeah.
I think I heard it probably early when it first came out.
Right.
But I haven't listened to it probably years.
Yeah.
At least a decade.
Oh yeah.
I haven't
and it
revisited.
Wasn't that popular of a record.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
The Nonce is some obscure West Coast rap. Like you got to be ahead. Like the Nonce, Saphir, AC Alone. Like they were
Ahmad.
They were all on major labels, but they all had like one album and they were done. So it's like those who knew, but it wasn't like they had huge singles or anything like that.
Yeah, they had like one video, I believe.
To sell
mixtapes, and now I'm an MC.
I like the rhymes and beats.
Yeah,
but yeah, that cat Satch, he produced it all, and I'm thinking because he produced it, he probably handled the mixing too, because there's some shit there. I mean, so some of it sounds like it's like Tribe influenced, you know, the production, but the stereo mixing on it is great. Like I got some notes on here, so like it's like the opening thing starts out with this on the air shit ad lib. We're on the air, and it's just like this conversation going on, and that's like the on the air is rotating left, right. You got this conversation goes the other way.
That's crazy.
It's bugged out.
I gotta listen. I'm gonna listen to it tonight, probably.
You know, and then all the scratching on the shit pretty much is stereo. There's no scratching that's coming up the middle. So whenever they scratch something, it's coming. Whoosh, next phrase over here. It's just this stuff is cutting straight across. It's just bugged out, man. Bus stops. The chorus is in stereo completely. You know, you don't notice it, you hear it in headphones. The keys are moving left and right. Horn samples are switching ears during the cooks.
Yeah, I gotta listen to this
crazy.
Tonight.
Yeah, it was like, but I never noticed that stuff when I was playing it back then. Then when I started listening to stuff on headphones, and I'm like, oh, now I really, really like this record because I didn't catch all that stuff before. You know,
it's dope.
This song Testing, there's a song called Testing that's supposed to be like, it sounds like true sound design. You know what I'm saying? Because like they're mimicking a mic test. It's just an interlude. And so they're like, hey, is this thing on? And so it sounds like they're in the venue. Okay. But while they're doing that, like the samples are all moving around stereo in different places. So they got testing, and they got this piano thing that's moving around as well. While they sound like they're trying to check and get the mics right.
That's dope.
Yeah, it
sounds fucking dope.
It sounds like they're in a venue. It's fucking dope, you know. But yeah, it's a slept on joint. So I don't. If people ain't heard of this, that's cool. Yeah. You know what I mean. But this is one you should research and just listen to in headphones, and that's the Nonce World Ultimate.
Word.
Okay, number 6.
Classic. Classic.
This is a slept on too.
So slept on.
Number 6. Organized Confusion. The Equinox.
Beautiful fucking record. Most people like when they think of Organized, they think of stress.
Extinction.
Yeah, Extinction Agenda. Yeah, but this one, so much burn.
I wonder why that is too, because you know what it made me think, because their first record had that hit. You know what I'm saying? So Stress was a big hit. And it wasn't a concept record. Right. This was a deep concept record.
Very deep.
And so some people just were not ready for this record when it came out.
Wasn't it like skits in between every song?
Yes. Yeah. It was a straight up story. Yeah. It was like you could take like not Dead Presidents, but what's the one? Belly.
Oh yeah.
It was basically like
it was like Belly.
Belly in album form. Yep. You know, you got two dudes who came up together. One is normal. One is just like shoot everything up and ask no questions. Yeah. And the album is about just these dudes, you know, adventures and their rise and fall.
The narrator's voice is so dope.
Right. It's got a narrator. Yeah. Which is like sound design. Shit you don't see. You didn't see that back then. Yeah. You didn't have people just like legit narrating an album.
Right.
You know what I mean? In 1995 and shit. Like they really did that. The album starts off with the guy narrating. Well, first it starts out with them in the car, and so you got the whole sound design of them being in the car.
Yep. So you hear it's like they're in the car. So you hear horns and
rain. The rain comes left and right. You're like, yo, sounds like I feel like I'm in the car with these dudes, right? And one puts something in the deck. You can hear the tape deck. They're loading guns. Like you can hear all of it. It's fucking incredible, man. It's like, oh shit. Yeah. You know. So this one, there's not a lot of like vocal stereo stuff going on.
It's all musical and interlude.
Yeah, and the interludes, but it's heavy. But there is that questions joint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so Organized Confusion was a 2-man group who had like 2 dudes going back to back a lot. So what they would do on this record, they would have one dude start the chorus over here, other dude start the chorus over here. So you listen, it just sounds like you're in the middle, and then when they rhyme in the middle, and they get back to the chorus, it's like he's over here now, he's over here, and then their ad libs would always be somewhere different. Sometimes they would put the ad libs in completely different places every ad lib. You know, like okay, that one's over here. Now we go back over there.
It's crazy.
So this is a slept on one, but I think this is one of the first ones that made me appreciate like true sound design in hip hop, because I think the interludes did that.
Yeah,
so that's number 6. Okay. And besides, it's one of our favorites.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like this record is banging. Like,
got mad burn in the whip
the
during
rhymes
tours.
on here, come on.
Stories, hate,
incredible concept record. That influenced us so much. Like, okay, number 5. This is one that everybody should know.
Yeah,
but number 5, top headphone album, Outkast, Acquemini.
Even the sun goes down. Heroes eventually die. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you know, this record made me think about how like I think some of the reason we didn't see as many stereo mixes in hip hop was because it was sampled.
Yeah, this is true.
You know, like I feel like even and with the sampling thing, I feel like I wasn't sampling in stereo until I got the MPC. I feel like none of my EPSs were stereo sampling, it was all mono sampling.
Yeah.
Whereas once the MP came out, then you could sample something that sounded in true stereo. If it wasn't true stereo, I had a true stereo mix. But Outkast wasn't sampling that heavy like that. But they were playing over top of a lot of
Right. It was a lot of instrumentation.
Yeah, replaying things.
Yeah.
And so when they came, I feel like they took a quantum leap almost.
Oh yeah,
in stereo mixing.
Yeah, because the way this album sounded compared to Spodio with the first album,
yes,
very different.
Yeah, the first one was straight down the middle,
straight hip hop, normal shit.
Yep. Yeah, this one was like from the opening thing, you were like, oh, this is gonna be some different shit.
Yeah, this is different.
And I think the instrumentation is great. And this is one where you start seeing like, okay, the music is starting to be all over the place. So like on Rosa Parks, like that hi-hat is panned hard right. Only drums some of the drums are center, but then the 808 and the bass line is hard left.
Yeah.
And so it's like but it totally works. It's like I would have never thought to just put the hi-hat over here, but then the 808.
Yeah, and when you listen to it in headphones, it's like it's almost chaotic.
Yes.
But it works so well together that you don't mind the chaos in your ears.
Yeah. Yeah, like the keys on the art of storytelling, they slowly rotate around the thing. So it's not nothing crazy, because there's crazier mixing, but it's very adventurous compared to what we were before. Because I think some of the ones from 94, 95, they just kind of set it there. They
didn't move it as much.
Now with Outkast, you start seeing stuff moving, like the vocals are moving, the drums are moving. You know what I'm saying? Like there's one that had like a like, okay, yeah, this is still this art of storytelling. There's a shaker and it's left. There's one where they had like a drum fill that goes right to left. You know what I'm saying? So,
you're gonna make me go back and listen to all these albums again.
Outkast was on some shit.
Yeah, I mean, because even Stankonia, I think that was the album after this one. Yeah, that one is mixed real crazy too.
Yeah, and we probably could put that in the same slot as this.
Yeah.
So I guess with this, we definitely could say, Stankonia, Acquemini, because once they started doing it,
they
were out of here.
Over.
It was gone. There's no coming back, man. So that's Outkast, Acquemini at number 5. Okay, we're gonna go to number 4. The number 4 top headphone album of all time, and it's gonna be controversial.
Yeah,
but Kanye West, 808s and Heartbreaks.
It's mixed so beautifully.
Sounds like just butter. Just magnifique.
Even if you don't like the album,
bruh,
the sound of this album is fucking, oh man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's clearly, you know, one of the most influential albums of the last 10 years,
if not the most. Not the most influential.
Clearly, because prior to him, we don't have rappers auto tuning, singing like that. He started. I mean, the whole Drake thing that was on the back of Kanye West.
Yes,
to all these dudes singing it, and Kanye started all of that.
He's like the father of modern day hip hop. Was the real
this
shit.
Record.
Yeah, this record.
And what's wild is this record is not that great.
It's got some good songs on it.
It's got a few jams on it that I still put on, like, you know, Paranoid.
Oh, Paranoid.
That shit gets me amped. You know what I mean? Don't be so paranoid.
Yeah, the beat.
But like overall, it's got maybe 4.
I like Streetlights. Streetlights is dope.
Streetlights is dope. Like But yeah, it's not on par with his, when he dropped this, if you look at it song by song, it's one of his Force records.
Oh yeah, song by song.
Song by song. Yeah. But in terms of influence, it's the most influential record.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And I think this has the least like replay value as an album of his catalog. Like I'm just like, I mean, well, a couple of reasons.
We're not talking about the recent
joints. Classic Kanye.
Yeah.
Prior to 2015.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 2015 and sooner. All of his records were banging.
I mean, honestly, Twisted Fantasy on back.
Yeah, that's right. Twisted Fantasy on back. Yep. All of those were banging. That was probably 2015, 2014.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. That record was classic. But yeah, this record, but when you start talking about mixing, this one is one where it's not adventurous.
Right.
It's not experimental. But when every damn song on this record has a beautifully balanced stereo mix.
Yes.
That means when you put it on, the keys are going to be here. Your strings are going to be here. It's going to sound completely balanced.
Yes.
And it's going to sound really full in a way that like other records don't. You know what I'm saying? You're like, why does it sound so full? And there's all this space and this vocal just cuts down the middle.
Oh, it's like butter.
So clean.
All of the vocals.
Yeah.
Cut so clean, man. Like even when he's doing the distortion shit and stuff, it's just so fucking beautifully clean.
And there's no ad-libs on this record.
Nah.
It's just
straight
track.
one track vocals.
Yeah. So I think that might also be why they could do so much stereo shit. You know, because like, look, he just got one vocal track.
Right.
We could just basically just move everything out here, put him right in the middle, and it just totally works.
Yeah.
But yeah, this record, man, like sonically, listen to the headphones. It will hit you way differently. Than
very much so.
Else. And that's number 4. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Right.
Quick announcement. Saturday, November 2nd, I'll be in Texas, Austin, Texas, headlining a festival, the Emerge Graffiti Arts Festival. It's going to be held at the Schultz Beer Garden from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. in the morning. All ages are welcome. Even better, advance tickets are only $5. Walk-up tickets are only $10. There's no excuse for you to not be at the show. So, doors open at 7 p.m. I'll be headlining this festival. I hope y'all can come out and check out the dope art. There's gonna be b-boys there. They got a producer section. They got graffiti section. They got it all. And I'm headlining, so please come out. Schultz Beer Garden, Saturday, November 2nd, Austin, Texas, the Emerge Arts Festival. You can get your tickets at emergeatx.com. That's emergeatx.com. Tickets are only $5. Advance tickets are only $5. Walk-up tickets only $10. I'll see y'all there. Back to the show.
Final 3.
Bang, bang, bang. Top 3.
Top 3 joints.
We made it, baby.
Yeah, we here.
Top 3 headphone albums of all time. Man, somebody's gonna be mad about these selections.
Yeah, I think so. But you can't be if you listen to these records.
Right.
If you really listen to all of these records in headphones, like without thinking, I like this artist, I don't like this artist. If you listen to it for the quality of the sound of the album.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You really can't be mad at anything on this list.
Yeah, because there were records that sounded better, but didn't have a stereo presence.
Right.
They weren't headphone albums.
Right.
So there are records that might sound better than some of the ones we named, but they just weren't made for the joints.
Right.
So I'm like, they didn't make the list.
Right.
And so at the same time, just because a record makes this list doesn't mean we think this is a top hip hop record of all time.
Right.
It's just the best headphone record, And so number 3, this one could have been number 1.
It could have been.
It's probably one of my favorites.
Oh man.
Number 3, top headphone album of all time, The Roots, Things Fall Apart.
This came out when I was in college in Cincinnati.
I remember that. I remember this record.
Yeah. The multiple covers.
Come on, man. This record was fire. Sonically, I was like, I'd never heard a record that sounded this good.
Oh no.
This was when this came out. This was the first time I was like, oh, I've never heard a record sound like hip hop, but still be so clean.
So clean.
And sonically just like flawless.
Dog.
Like there's not a chink in this record's armor sonically.
Vocals, instruments, everything.
And it's got this record has that rare combination of the vocals are adventurous, the music is adventurous, and it's experimental, but it's still
classic.
It's classic.
That's a classic record.
Yeah,
easily.
And so like, you know, it starts off with like the completely stereo shit mixed up, the argument, right? It starts out with the Denzel and Wesley Snipes argument about the music, and it's moving left and right. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like you come out of that shit, and it's just like, yo. Then you go into Act 1, and this one's like, yo. After you get done with that, it's like Black Thought in his first song, this Act 1, he's mixed at 3 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? The drums are at 9 o'clock. So you got drums over here. Black Thought looks like he's coming from over here.
Right.
But it sounds normal.
Sounds so good.
It's perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, maybe this is what I was listening to when I did Unforeseen Shadows. I'm like, because I was doing some weird shit.
You was doing some crazy shit on Unforeseen.
Now that I think about it, because this was around the same time.
Yeah,
this came out like 97.
Yeah, 97, 98. Yeah.
Yeah, this shit, I was definitely listening to this record. Like, why did I do that?
Yeah, like Cinderella Complex.
Come on, man.
Oh, man.
I was doing shit like
that.
that.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Not as well as this record.
Right. Yeah, he was putting in the work. Me versus myself.
Yeah.
Kind of have, yeah.
So yeah, like the second song, you know, it's like, okay, so Thursday you got Malik B with him coming in the center, and then it's like his entire verse is playing hard left. Well, he rhymes up the center. Then he's got a muffled version.
Yeah, of the same verse.
Same verse.
That's to the left. To the left. It's like backups, but it's not.
No.
It's like harmony almost. Yeah,
because he's like, yo, confident, no, you can like, what's going on over here? And then he still has ad libs for that verse. Yeah. That's coming up the middle. Yeah. Over there. You're like, what the fuck am I listening to?
Yeah. Right? So good.
It's so good, man. So it's like, you know, that's table of contents. Then you step into this round. Another extreme example.
Bound to get caught.
Come on, man. You got the hi-hats paying hard left at 3, snare at 1 o'clock, kick center.
The fuck?
Come on, man. It's like Malik B's verse rotates around your head the entire time during step into this world. It's like the entire time. It never stops in the middle.
Oh man.
Come on, man.
So much good shit.
Double Trouble with Mos Def and Black Thought.
Come on. The hook alone.
When it starts out and they're just ad-libbing like 1, 2. And then it's like, okay, what's going on? You got Mos Def on your left, and you got Black Thought on your right. Ad-libbing completely different random things.
Right, but it sounds
great.
Sounds so good.
You would never catch that it's like that. It sounds like you're in the room with them. Like one dude's on this side of you rapping, another dude over there. Like, oh shit. And then once they start rhyming, it moves back to the center. Yeah. During the rhyme. And then like you're saying, once they get the chorus again, as they go back and forth with the interplay, it's left and right again. This record, man, I feel like this was the one that really kind of took us to the modern era of like stereo mixing.
And even the instrumental on there, the keys like switch the that part.
Yes.
Yeah,
man. So that's number 3. The Roots, Things Fall Apart. Number 2, and there's 2 records at number 2.
Yeah, 2 records because they're both so. Oh god.
Yeah. So number 2, we have 2A and 2B. Number 2A is Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City.
Ali is a beast.
Yeah.
Ali is a beast.
I couldn't choose between these 2.
No, man.
Because
no.
One is like To Pimp a Butterfly is slightly more adventurous.
Yes. Because of the jazz shit. Yeah, the acid jazz kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you got a little more weird stereo things going on. And the interludes on
Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, but they're not. So like what's crazy, like the opening interlude with like where's them car at shit.
Yep.
When you listen to his parents from the phone shit, you can tell that like when the father's like, she's like, oh, your dad want to talk to you.
Yeah, he's kind of on
he's in the back of the room.
Yeah, and you can hear him come up.
Yeah, hear the phone. She's in the back yelling at him, and it's like, wait a minute, and it's like, yo, shit is really, really sick. It starts the album off like that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of moments on there, but every song is like a master class in stereo.
Oh man, so full.
Yeah, but the irony is that there's not a lot going on music.
No, it's not. The beats, for both of these albums, actually, the beats are pretty simple, but they're mixed perfectly. Everything has its own place in the mix.
Yes,
everything is placed like just perfectly in its own place. And his voice, when he does all the weird like voices and stuff, and oh man,
yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, like on To Pimp a Butterfly, Institutionalized, Complexion, Black of the Berry. If you want to hear some really, next level stereo mixing, those are the ones. Listen to that in headphones. Yeah. But every record on this album isn't like that. There's some records where it's just straight up the middle. Yeah. But when he takes it there, it's like, oh shit's coming from everywhere, and the music is panned all wild and shit. But yeah, that one, Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly, it's like, come on, man. Yeah. This shit is fucking crazy. There's times where like guitar comes in and mostly left, like the song Shireen. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Keys are rotating around the whole time. I got to read my notes. The guitar comes in, is mostly left. Singing is mostly left. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, it's fucking crazy. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Same thing. Oh yeah. Stuff coming from different angles, but it's really balanced. And like those two records, they could probably be number one because I feel like Good Kid, Mad City to me was like what kind of restarted the whole concept album thing. Oh yeah, there was no concept album probably a whole decade before. Yeah, like on a major. Yes, not on a major. Nah, since what we grew up on. Yeah, that was it. It was just songs, and then he kind of jump started concept records again with this. Yeah, with that one, but then at the same time, like the mixing on it was so dope that you couldn't front on these records. Yeah. Like I don't call myself a Kendrick Lamar fan like that. Right. But man, oh man, he's a bad motherfucker, man. He's a bad motherfucker for this shit. Like you can't listen to these. You have to give it up, whether it aesthetically pleases you or not. What he does, you're like, oh, I don't care about taste. Technically, this shit is top flight. Yes. You can't front on this shit. Front. So that's number 2. Which could be number 1, right? Because this list is really, you can switch them all up. Okay, so number 1, last joint, and this is kind of the one that kind of started it all for me in terms of noticing stereo mixes. And the number 1 is A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders. Yeah, man. Now, this is one that I feel I have to put at number 1 because they kind of explicitly state what they're trying to do sonically on this record. Right. And it was so long ago, like in the early 90s, they're like, yes, we're marauding for eardrums. We're making some shit that sounds good here and at nighttime and in your car, which is what this record does. Dude. It just sounds fucking great. It sounds beautiful. Like the first song starts out, with the cuts. The cuts are far left. Vocals are slightly right. Then you got 8 million stories. All of Q-Tip's ad-libs are rotating around your head. Rotating. He does that on a lot of this record, like where it's like he'll be ad-libbing some shit and you'll be like, where the fuck is it? He'll be left. He'll be right. Yeah. And then during the choruses, he'll just be all over the place. All over the place. Like, yo, he's behind, he's coming all over the place. He's left, he's right. It's just like true. And this was early before people were really doing it like that. So it's like the song that has the most stereo mix is Lyrics to Go. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? Because when that guitar come in, back and forth. Come on, man. The riff is just bouncing around on the chorus. You got it echoes out, and then it switches sides when it's just what I'm saying. It's just all over the place. Right. It's fucking crazy shit. Like, oh my god, the stereo's kind of sample-y. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this record is fucking crazy. And it's like, what is this, 92, 93? Yeah. 93, I think. It was one of the first ones that was really, really dipping into that bag. Yes. Yeah. And purposefully. Yes. Purposefully. I mean, listen to the fucking intro. Yes, they tell you. They tell you from jump it's about to go down. If you don't have headphones, you should get them now. Right. It's gonna be a sonic experience. Yeah, man. So that's why that's number 1 with me, man. And so, if you're home, if you're in the comments, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about your favorite albums that you heard in the headphones, because obviously we're going to miss some. Oh, yeah. And there are some that we might not agree on. And there's some records that, probably sound crazy as shit. But, doing this made me realize just how far stereo mixing has come. Oh, yeah. It's different now. Yeah, it's different now. Because I would wager, since this Kendrick record, a lot of stereo records are coming out and, bigger budgets, and people are spending money on that now. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, some of the records of that genre that will not be named. But that's why, like, a lot of those I've heard and read about, that like the mixing and engineering is like really top notch. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. So I'm gonna read them back. Number of honorable mention was Digable Planet's Blowout Comb. Number 10, Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory. Number 9, Kanye West, My Dark Twisted Fantasy. Number 8, The Roots, Illadelph Half-Life. Number 7, The Nonce, World Ultimate. Number 6, Organized Confusion, The Equinox. Number 5, Outkast, Acquemini. Number 4, Kanye West, 808s and Heartbreaks. Number 3, The Roots, Things Fall Apart. Number 2, Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly. And number 1, A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders.
Word.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Super Duty Tough Work. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow the podcast on SoundCloud. Peace.
Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about. I mean, super duty tough work.